Oh, why, hello there. Jacob. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually healthy enough to finally film this pickup video. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and actually film this pickup video. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So, yeah, as I mentioned before, this particular pickup is an eBay pickup from Jersey Baron. But I'm finally actually healthy enough to, well, film this video because I don't know if you can kind of hear it in my voice, but oh man, I don't know what it is, but this year there's just been a lot of crud just kind of floating around in the atmosphere because of all the weather changes and shit. So, pardon my language there, but it's just like, it seems like whenever you're about ready to get healthy again, you get struck by whatever this is, like all the temp changes and this and that and the other thing. So I'm kind of fighting a really nasty head cold this last, I'd say, week and a half or so. But am finally kind of starting to get back to somewhat normal. So with all that out of the way, though, let's go ahead and actually get into the pick. So let's dive into it. So this particular pickup, as I mentioned, comes to us from Jersey Baron on eBay. And, well, let's just say your boy's been getting into NHL All-Star jerseys recently. And this particular bad boy is a very, very interesting version. So, yeah, I suppose without further ado, hailing from Team Lidstrom in 2011, this is a, well, 2011 NHL All-Star Game jersey from, again, the 2011 All-Star Game in Raleigh, North Carolina. Team issued Reebok Team Lidstrom jersey. And the reason why I say this is a Team Lidstrom jersey is because in 2011, the NHL hosted the All-Star Game in Raleigh, North Carolina, aka the home of the Carolina Hurricanes. And apparently that year they did a Team Lidstrom versus Team Eric Stoll, who, if you've been around my channel long enough, you know was a Minnesota Wild, but started his career and is probably most known for being a Carolina Hurricane. So in 2011, they did basically Team Lidstrom versus Team Stoll, and I got my hands on a Team Lidstrom jersey because, well, at the time, more Minnesota Wild members were on Team Lidstrom, which included the last year of Brent Burns, and I want to say Martin Havlet was the other Minnesota Wild representative in 2011. And this particular jersey is an interesting all-star jersey, and I'll kind of get into some of those details as we go. So let's go ahead and dive into the Team Lidstrom 2011 All-Star Reebok jersey. And as I mentioned before, this is a team issued size 58 with the old Reebok Vector on the back, has the neon green Reebok going, across the neckline, which was very common for those like Reebok jerseys from like 2010 to like 2015, 16 era. And I know there was a lot of like the alternate games or the extra games, special games, not the normal like playoff team and stuff like that, but Winter Classic, All-Star, Stadium Series. They did the green, lime green banner for those games, especially for the authentic jerseys. And as you kind of go down here, you can see a very cool little design on the neckline with the vector tag, which kind of reminds me a lot of the like 2015, 2016 era of them. And then you go down with the striping on the side, which is a very, very interesting design here with the ventilation, gray, blue with the gray stripe. But if you go to the NHL shield here, this particular shield isn't stitched. It is heat pressed, as well as the stars on the front. So yeah, as you can kind of see in here, you really can't see a lot as far as like stitching or anything like that. Which I found kind of interesting, that this is a heat pressed. By the way, this is still a team issue jersey. So it's not like this isn't like the highest quality, because again, Reebok during that time, how you could tell a team issued, even, different from a Reebok 1.0 or 2.0, is the fact that the Reebok didn't have like the RBK or Reebok on the back of this. It was just the logo with the stitched on Made in Canada tag. And as I said before, this NHL shield on the front isn't stitched, nor are the stars. However, though, I think the patch, if I remember right, let me see if this is here. I think the patch for the All-Star jersey here is stitched. So yeah, let's kind of go ahead and see if I can. Because again, this is a very, very unique jersey. And yeah, this All-Star patch is stitched. And it's interesting considering pretty much everything else is not stitched. And then once here, you can see here's the vector tag on the back. And as you go down here to the fight strap, it is the double reinforced fight strap. So again, this is a very unique jersey. I don't know if they had like multiple versions of this or anything like that, but again, the fact that this is a team issued All-Star jersey that isn't fully stitched is very interesting to me, especially because, well, I have a few other pickups coming in the mail over the next several days or so. And, well, let's just say one of them is a very, very interesting, very historical piece. And I'll just kind of leave it at that. And, well, we'll kind of get into all that stuff when, well, time comes. So, but yeah, that'll basically wrap up this video. As I said, this is a 2011 Team Lidstrom NHL All-Star jersey from the 2011 All-Star game in Raleigh, North Carolina. So yeah, that'll basically wrap up this video. So until we meet again, this is Jacob, and again, I apologize for my voice and stuff like that. Coming off of a head cold and stuff like that is nothing fun, especially this time of year when the weather doesn't know what the hell it wants to do. So bear with me over these next few videos until everything finally gets, well, to where it should be. So, but yeah, until we meet again, this is Jacob. Have a good day.